The Buffalo Bills snowplow through Burrow and the Bengals 39-34 to go 9-4 in the season. We are going to discuss all of this and a lot more on this episode of Circling the Wagons. Let's go.
To my friend Nate and all the listeners of this podcast, no one circles the wagons than Nate Discate. Circle the wagons, Buffalo.
Where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
Hey, hey, let's go Buffalo. Hey, hey, let's go Buffalo.
The Bills make me wanna.
What is up, Bills Mafia? Welcome to another episode of Circling the Wagons, a Buffalo fan base podcast. I am your host, Nate. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We have a tremendous game to discuss with you guys. We have the Buffalo Bills victory, come from behind victory over the Bengals today, 39-34 in Orchard Park to discuss. It was a tremendous snow game. Great game all around. Heart Attack City, but we're going to discuss a lot of that. We're going to go over our stats of the game, our Sweet Sassy Molassey plays of the game, our Wall of Fame and Wall of Shame, and some hot takes from our followers on Twitter. So make sure you get in the comments on this live stream and let us know what yours is. But first, I'm joined by my co-hosts, John and Mike. John, I'll start with you first. How you feeling, buddy? We are now 9-4, doing well. Still in the wild card right now. Might not win the division, but a great come from behind win for the Buffalo Bills today. How you doing?
Feeling great. Nate, I understand that the division is in question and folks are worried about that, but we've beaten the Chiefs, the Ravens, and the Bengals this year. All three have been Achilles heels in past seasons, and we just got to get in. It doesn't matter if we win the division. It doesn't matter if we get the 1 seed. Just get in and do our thing and do what we do. I'm excited.
Yeah, this might be one of those weird seasons where not getting the number 1 or 2 seed might actually be okay to not have home field advantage for the first game. You might actually get some easier opponents, but we can discuss that a little bit later. I love it, John. Mike's in the podcast. What's going on, Mike? How you doing, man?
Nate, what a game. I really loved it. It's close, right? Everybody loves a blowout because you can rest a little easier, but when it's close and they win, there's nothing like it.
This was the best feeling since week 1 in that Ravens game, right? That Ravens come from behind win. I said it over social media. If there was, excuse me, getting over a cold. If there was ever a game,
Old Nate would have proclaimed that was just allergies. Maybe if we were live in person. Like, oh, don't worry about it, guys. You're willing to admit you can have a viral load if no one's next to you. I see.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. If this was us all three in the same room together, it'd be like, oh, sorry, guys. I just got over the flu or COVID. My bad. So anyway, back to Josh Allen.
You would 100% say, oh, it's allergies.
It's allergies, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's your go-to excuse when you don't want people to think that you're sick right next to them at work. Wow,
yeah. 100%. It's like, what are you allergic to? Mold. Well, there's no freaking mold anywhere.
Have you taken off some of that drywall lately? There might be some growing underneath. The go-to real quick is dust. I'm allergic to dust. It's the easiest thing to say. So there's dust everywhere. Nobody doesn't have dust somewhere.
Right.
So that's the easiest one. But going back to
I say pollen. Doesn't work in the winter.
Exactly.
Ironically, when you most need it.
Chlorine.
To dust. Thanks.
That's dust, yeah. Say chlorine. But we're not near a pool. Well, okay. So
I know you want to get into it because it's right off the top, but I've never heard anyone I didn't know chlorine was a thing, man.
Yeah. I still don't know if it's a thing. I might have just made that up.
Oh, okay.
But the Bills today. So if there was ever a game where it exemplified the term "circle the wagons," like this was the game to do that. You know, besides the Ravens game, which I mentioned earlier. But I mean, you're down. You know, the momentum's not in your favor, and all of a sudden, Christian Benford gets that pick 6 in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden, you know, this game went from like, let's hope something good happens to we're now in charge and we can win this game. Just a great back-to-back series from both interceptions on back-to-back plays by Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, who was having a really good game before those plays. I mean, he was he was putting the ball exactly where he needed to be. If anything, his receivers were letting him down with a few drops, but I mean, he was looking great out there, except for those 2 plays, and those were the 2 biggest plays of the game. So incredible plays by the Bills. Defense, give them a ton of credit, even though they looked awful in the first half and most of the game. They came by when it mattered.
It was a really weird game because after the first half and until the Bedford interception, you thought they were kind of out of it, and even after that, you're still nervous about the game. So that was weird. But also, I thought that T. Higgins, he got banged up a couple of times. It looked like he had maybe a head injury, but he got back in and maybe had another injury later on. But I think he was kind of afraid to get hit after that. He had a good game still. Like his stats look good, but he had some drop balls after that, and I wonder if that affected the Bengals offense.
Who are you talking about? Higgins, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it was like every play he was involved in, he was on the ground holding his head. I have not seen someone pointing at their head, being like, something's wrong with my head, and they do nothing. They just go run right back to the line.
Well,
like,
the first time they went to the medical tent, and then no, he's fine.
6.
But yeah.
Have you ever seen somebody being like, my head? I've never seen that.
Nate, you're muted.
Even Tua hasn't done that. He's gotten rocked before. So, yeah, they're like, well, you know what? You already went to the medical tent once, so we can't have you back there a second and third time. Like there's a limit on it or something.
It's not like Bills games where there's like a line for the blue tent. Like it wasn't like that.
You take a number, it's like a deli counter. Who's got 33? I'm 38. Jeez, this is gonna be a long game.
I thought that was inexplicable though. Next week it'll be like, oh, he's in concussion protocol.
Yeah, we needed him to come off the field too, didn't we? He was just tearing us apart.
Dominating, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if he did come off the field the whole game, like they had Chase and like Jasecki and all these other guys, it didn't matter. But
the Bills were locking down Chase though. I mean,
Benford. Amazing.
Yeah, Chase was locked down pretty good, and the second half they blitzed more, which I don't know. I think it was maybe slightly more effective, but not that much more effective.
It was something. It was something. They needed anything at that point.
But they were desperate, and they did what they could, and it worked. And it was better than the first half.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But just the disparity between the I guess the ease at which the Bengals receivers could get separation and make catches like the Bills outside of the tight ends. It felt like what's happening. Like you would think in the snow, the receivers would really have an advantage. Like they know where they're going. Right. That was the big disappointment for me.
That exemplifies the Bills receiver problem. They need receiver help. And you mentioned the tight ends. The Bengals' Achilles heel on defense is against the tight ends. So that's part of the reason why the Bills were so successful there. Knox, Kincaid, even Hawes had a touchdown.
I mean, we're lucky to have Kincaid back.
Yes.
That's huge.
He's huge. He's huge to our offense. I don't think we realized it as much as we did when he was missing.
We took him for granted.
You mentioned Hawes. My guy needs to work on his touchdown celebrations. He's just like,
that was pretty. Everyone's like, let's freaking go. And he's just like, all right, I was here.
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed deal.
Like everybody like sliding and doing snow angels and just everything under the sun.
He's like, I'm just happy to be here.
Like shrug.
Late round pick. I mostly run block.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. The tight ends were leading the Bills in receiving. So if we were looking to an ideal scenario, like let's say we go into the playoffs, we make a Super Bowl run, we would want to play against a team that can't guard well against tight ends, that isn't good against the run, and
it's a terrible offense.
Yeah, it's a terrible. Fingers crossed. They turn over the ball a lot. You're hoping, because before that, the Bills, James Cook had that huge fumble right near the goal, right near the goal line that gave up the ball in that play, and all of a sudden it went from 21-18 to the Bengals having the ball, and you didn't know where it was going to go. And then I tweeted a stat out. The Bills are 1-4 when they lose the turnover battle. So it was 1-0 against the Bills when Cook coughed that ball up. Like, oh, great. And then they made two turnovers on defense right away. So they went into the positive, section of the turnover battle. So it's just a matter of time when, if the Bills can get some team to turn the ball over, cough the ball up, even guys like Joe Burrow that aren't used to doing that, that's how they win, man. That's how they're going to win. That's how, if they make a run, this is how they're going to do it. They're not going to be by throwing to Khalil Shakir for 125 yards or Keon Coleman for 8 receptions. That's not going to happen. It's going to be through their tight ends, their running backs, either on the ground or through the air, and then defensive turnovers at opportune times. Unless Brandon Cooks becomes the answer somehow.
I don't think it's going to happen. They need, for looking to the future, they got to have an alpha receiver. That's the only way to fix that particular problem.
Yeah, it's so funny because last year, I hate to go on a tangent, but last year we were like, well, you don't need it because you got a great offensive line. So you don't need the best weapons. But they had literally the same exact offensive line, and they don't have better weapons, and it's kind of hurting them this year. But luckily, like
they can't get open.
They can't. So who would have thought you needed wide receivers that could get open? That's such a weird concept. So, all right, let's go into stats of the game on Buffalo Bills side of the ball. Josh Allen, 22 for 28, 251 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Also had 78 yards on the ground, 8.7 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. He had that long 40-yard run, the 40-yard touchdown.
Dude, longest of his career, right? That surprised me.
Yeah, me too. What a great run too. Speaking of Brandon Cooks, I don't know if you guys saw it in the replay, but Cooks did an amazing job. Just like his defender was the only guy that could tackle Allen when he got out into the open field. And Brandon Cooks just kept taking his guy, thinking like he was going to catch the ball, like he was faking, like we do in Thanksgiving football, unless someone yells, ball, just keep running with it. Like, the defender had no chance to tackle Allen until the very end, but it was too late. Josh Allen just ran in. So
it's funny because I looked up number 18 after that because I saw the block. I'm like, oh, who's number 18? Oh, Elijah Moore. I'm like, I don't think they have Elijah Moore anymore. Who is the? I googled Bills number 18. Oh, Elijah Moore. What a great block. Wait a second. I don't think that he's still there.
Yeah, they've Curtis Samuel's on IR. They've moved so many players in and out, so it's hard to keep track of them, John. I'm with you. Josh Allen, guys, what do you think? Josh Allen firmly back into the MVP conversation after today's win? Yes or no? Before today, it was Drake May and Matt Stafford had the best odds for MVP.
Where was Allen in that?
I don't even know if he was top 3 at that point. Hold on, I'll find out.
Next week's gonna be a big one for that, right? May versus Allen.
Yeah,
That's always funny too. Like they always put these quarterbacks against each other. It's like May versus Allen, Brady versus Manning, and Montana versus whoever. Like they're not playing each other; they're playing the opposing defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like it makes no sense whatsoever. They don't play each other. It's like they play the defense of the other team. So the other team could have a shit defense. Doesn't matter.
Well, literally, Brady and Manning were never on the same field at the same time ever in their entire.
But the Patriots did way better defense than the Colts did.
Oh, 1,000%. You know what I will say? The Colts had that one really good season where they had like Freeney and Mathis.
They did have some good defenses, but you're trying to compare like these quarterbacks to each other. It's like they're not literally playing each other; they're playing the other team's defense.
Mm-hmm.
That always struck me weird.
Josh Allen was at plus 3,000 last week, whereas Drake May was minus 125. That's crazy, right? Man, why didn't I put any money on Allen? What is that plus 3,000? Because I'm a terrible bettor. That's why. So we have Josh Allen. I think he should still be in the MVP conversation. I think his odds will go up. If it was at plus 3,000 last week, I imagine it's like plus 600 or something this week.
I think the rest of the season is going to be very telling for those kinds of things. But either way, for the Bills at this point, they just need to keep winning. It's unlikely they're going to win the division, but they just need to make the playoffs, I think.
Yeah. James Cook, leading rusher for the Buffalo Bills, just by 2 yards over Josh Allen. 18 carries for 80 yards, 4.4 yards per carry. Ty Johnson had 2 carries for 25 yards. He had that 23-yard carry where he fell down on his own. He got tackled by the snow. Oh, that would have been so great. I kept thinking the whole time, I'm like, that's going to come back to bite us. Didn't
That's
end
a
up
big
scoring.
one.
Yeah, didn't end up scoring a touchdown in that drive too. You're like, oh, that sucks. Dawson Knox, the leading receiver for the Buffalo Bills. I don't know if that stat line, just the fact that he's the leading receiver for the Bills, is the bigger surprise, that he was 6 receptions on 7 targets and not like 4 for 8 or something like that. I mean,
Remember his like rookie year and the year in his second year is like, oh, Stonehand Knox, like dropping it all pet, like, and then like after that he was fine after that, but the first couple of years are kind of rough.
dude, we still see glimpses of first couple of years Dawson Knox too. So, but yeah, true. I mean, you put it well. But it was good because this was a game where they need their tight ends to step up, right? And if you're going to pay your tight end $12 million a year in Dawson Knox, like, let him have one game where he goes off. And if there was ever a game, this was the game. So he came to play, to his credit. Dalton Kincaid, the next leading receiver, 4 receptions on 5 targets for 41 yards, 1 touchdown. Then James Cook, Gabe Davis, and Keon Coleman after that. Sacks.
Big game Davis had a good play too.
Oh, yeah, when Josh was scrambling out, was that 4th down?
Yeah, it was a great play.
To his left, absolutely. The Bills had 1 sack today. They had 2 interceptions today and 1 touchdown on defense. Prater was 1 for 1 on field goals and 4 for 4 on extra points, so that was pretty good for him. Let's go over to the Bengals side real quick. Joe Burrow, 25 for 36, 284 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Samaje Perine, leading rusher, 6 carries for 31 yards, 5.2 yards per carry. I thought Chase Brown would go off. I was wrong there. T. Higgins was the leading receiver for the Bengals, we mentioned. 6 receptions on 11 targets for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mike Gesicki, the next leading receiver, 6 receptions on 6 targets for 86 yards and a touchdown. And then Jamar Chase, 5 receptions on 8 targets for 44 yards, 0 touchdowns. So those were stats of the game. All right, let's go into Sweet Sassy Molassey plays of the game.
Sweet Sassy Molassey. Get out the checkbook and pay Grandma for the rub down.
All right, Sweet Sassy Molassey plays of the game. Mike, it's been a while since but what's your Sweet Sassy Molassey play of the game? Let's go first.
It's got to be the Benford pick. Blew the game wide open. It just felt like the momentum was solidly. Everything was going the Bengals' way until that play. You could see energized the stadium, the team, changed everything.
Yeah, the Bills were down 25-28 up until that play, and then they went ahead for the first time. Yeah, the first time in the game, they went ahead. The Gettysburg of the game, Mike, you give it the Sweet Sassy Molassey. That's got to be the Gettysburg, right?
Sure. Give it everything.
John, what's your Sweet Sassy Molassey play of the game?
I agree 100%. Both played the game. Sweet Sassy Molassey played the game, and Gettysburg. That it was sweet. When he threw it, it was just weird. For him to catch it and not get tackled by Burrow and just keep running, it was just perfect, and everything was great. No, both play the game and Sweet Sassy Molassey. Agree.
It wasn't even tipped or anything, right? It was like right in there.
Right to him. And it was like 5 yards away. Like it was a dart, and he like jumped up and caught it.
We should try and reenact it. I could try and throw it, and you could try and pick it.
I couldn't jump that high. That's a good idea, though. But yeah,
I won't throw it very high.
Throw it right at my chest till drop it. Yeah, you know what's funny is personal story on that one. I was watching the game, and my daughter comes over. She was grabbing a candy cane, like one of the ones that had broken off the tree, and she's like, "Oh, can you open this for me so I can get because those are really tough to open. Like the little saran wrap, it's tough if you don't have like the dexterity or you're only 6 years old." So I looked down, like trying to get the thing through or try to rip it with my hands. And all of a sudden, like I see Benford running for the end zone. I'm like, what the heck just happened? Are you kidding me? And like, I'm just watching. And as much as I make fun of the CBS broadcast or whatever, like we didn't get a replay of that freaking play for like 10 minutes or something like that. It was ridiculous. Like as someone who's just like, I know he got the ball. I didn't know how, and they didn't explain it on the broadcast. They're just like, he got a touchdown. I was just like, what happened? And it took forever to get. So that's my own personal story. But yeah, same for me. Sweet Sassy Molassey play of the game. Gettysburg play of the game. I want to give like a couple of shout outs because this was a game that had so many good plays in it. Like honorable mention, obviously the AJ Epinesa interception right after that. That has to go on there. Jordan Phillips knocking the ball up into the air. AJ Epinesa intercepting it right away. After that, the Bills scored another touchdown, the Jackson Hawes touchdown, which happened on 4th and goal. So that wasn't just like a, hey, we ran it in after a while. Like they had to work for that touchdown too.
And how about McDermott going for it on all those 4th downs and 2-point conversions and things like that? Like very aggressive, and it really paid off.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope I might have a mention for him on the Wall of Fame segment. We'll see. We'll see. But that was, 1,000%, John. Aggressiveness, continued aggressiveness today. Did not tuck his tail and run when in the face of adversity. Also, honorable mention to the failed 2-point conversion for the Bengals when they scored in 44 seconds against the Bills right after that, which is crazy. They went down the field in 44 seconds, scored a touchdown. And you're just like, but that stop on the 2-point conversion by the Bills. Now, mind you, Burrow ran into his own player and fumbled it. Whatever, but at least they didn't fumble it into the end zone and they got the 2-point, right? And then this play really stands out is Josh Allen. At the end of the game, the Bills needed a first down with 1:54 left in the game. Because if the Bills don't get a first down on 3rd and 15, then the Bengals get the ball back and they could potentially score a touchdown since, they did it in 44 seconds before. And this honestly was very close to my sweet Sassy Molassey play the game because he ran for 17 yards on 3rd and 15, got the first down. The game was over. That's literally what won them the game at the end of the game. Not the reason why they won the game, but that one sealed it. So great plays. Josh Allen putting the team on his back. Like he has to sometimes.
Right before that to get it to, was it 3rd and 15, did you say, on the final drive? Man, it was like, I don't think they showed the replay, but when Allen was getting sacked, man, like it makes you appreciate a game of inches because that ball could have like somebody was swiping at him. And I think he just like lifted his arm the tiniest bit. And you're like, yeah, oh my gosh, that was so close. And they don't like, there's 20 things happening on any given play, but if that ball's forced out there, you're like, it's over. The way the Bengals, it really felt to me like the Bills stole it at the end. The Bengals played so well, and if they got the ball back, it felt like they were going to win. So just that movement by Allen, like nobody said anything about like it made it 3rd and 15, but like, man, that was such a pivotal play not to cough it up.
Absolutely. Good call. Good call on that one, Mike. There was earlier in the game, I remember thinking the same thing when you just mentioned that about that arm coming up and him almost like at any moment, any of those defensive linemen could just popped it out, right? Popped it out, game over, right? And there was a play earlier where Josh ran with the ball, but he was running it with the ball in his right hand, and the defender was like grabbing at that right arm, and he got a hold of it, but not enough to pull the ball out.
Yeah,
Josh, move it over to that left hand. Jeez.
Do you remember the sack? Another play I thought where Burrow was blindsided from the back. I don't remember who the defender was. Like how
Benford.
Was it? And I'm always swiping the ball. You know what I mean? You can't imagine somebody running full speed and smashing me in the back and me holding on to a ball. You know what I mean? Like how?
I drop things I have my hands on constantly. Trying to get out the
drop
door.
something with nobody touching me.
Your wife's like, John, you're like, it's just,
Hey, I was thinking, I just dropped my coffee.
exactly. It doesn't take much. Mike, in the same vein, I was thinking that like when Benford, because he completely blindsided him, like you said, how Burrow didn't drop the ball. But then also, I know the intent is to tackle him and then first and then secondly, like try to wrap your arms around so he does fumble it. But like if he had just like not even tried to tackle him, because it wasn't like Burrow was even winding up to throw it at that point.
Right, he was just standing there.
He could have just like walked around and just tapped it out. Just like,
took it out of his hand.
I know they're going at 100 miles an hour, but yeah, just like not even hit him and just bloop. Like just,
yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario, he picks up his own fumble, right? But it's like 10 yards back.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I always think that too.
That would be like that'd be so non-football like for you. You're like, oh, whoop, like it's just instead of like I'm gonna tackle you to the ground, Whoopsie. So
That'll be the thing in 10 years. That's what everybody will be doing.
yeah. The celebration of that won't be like rip your chest, like let's go. It's gonna be like a
Tiptoeing.
a slight huzzah, like something non-masculine. Yeah. Hip hip hooray, guys. So yeah, that was the Sweet Sassy Molassey plays of the game. All right, let's go into Wall of Fame.
Wow.
All right, Wall of Fame, John.
I feel like with AI, you could update a lot of this stuff.
Mike, I could
This is like 1998 PowerPoint.
I was so proud of that graphic too. I'm still proud of it, if I'm being honest. It's clearly Andre Reed and Marv Levy, and I just put a regular football helmet over that moves just slightly tick, 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 tick when he moves. Yeah. You'd think so, AI. I think I'm good with it. So John, who do you have on your Wall of Fame in this victory?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Do I have to explain it or
No.
we all just know.
John, do you ever feel, and I know I tweet this, especially when they're losing, do you ever feel bad for Josh Allen a little bit? Like the fact that he has to do it all himself? I mean, I'm glad that he does. I'm glad that he can. But there are parts of me where I'm just like, the Bills are losing. They're not getting anything done on offense against this awful defense. I mean, the Bengals do have a bad defense. They're not good, especially without Trey Hendrickson in today. And I'm just like, well, if they built a better team around him, if the defense was better, if the weapons were better, and
Bro, what kind of question is that? You feel bad for Josh Allen?
Oh, yeah.
It's also kind of a loaded question because a lot of teams have very similar situations where they have a great quarterback and they don't win a Super Bowl or anything, right? Like Joe Burrow, or like lots of teams have this situation. So
I don't think any offense has as bad a situation of wide receivers as Josh Allen does, though. I mean, I think Jones has better wide receivers.
But there's always something, right? Like he has a good offensive line. It could be reversed.
Yeah, there's always something. Like Aaron Rodgers with the Packers. Like, they finally drafted a first-round wide receiver, but Aaron Rodgers is already gone. Or like, it doesn't. There's always something, and you gotta like in those years the Packers had decent defenses, but like you got to make compromises somewhere. So yes, there's always going to be a position that's neglected because you can't address every single position on the roster every year. You can't do it.
Yeah, Brandon Beads made sure of that. There's lots of holes on this roster, but yeah, luckily we have Josh Allen. Mike, is Josh Allen your Wall of Fame candidate?
I thought Benford, with the play of the game, the sack, I think Chase might be the best receiver in the game, just locking him down. Like it's hard to ask for a better performance, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas Allen, I mean, if we can, like every week, give it to him.
I love that one too, because like you said, Mike, which just trying to lock down Jamar Chase, the best receiver, possibly the best receiver in the league, so much that the Bengals had to put him in its slot just so he would have a better matchup, so he could actually get the ball like that. And Benford took a lot of heat because he wasn't playing good the first half of the season, and now he's coming back to life when it matters the most. So
I think Mike's just trying to pick somebody that's not Josh Allen, just to pick somebody that's not Josh Allen. But it really is Josh Allen, so
it's like MVP voter fatigue when they didn't want to vote for Josh or Lamar, so they vote for Josh, right? Isn't that what people were saying? So Mike doesn't want to say Josh Allen because he's clearly the Wall of Fame.
It's too obvious to say Josh Allen, so let's pick somebody else.
What I will say is I have both those guys at the top of my Wall of Shame or Wall of Fame. One thing I will say is that Josh Allen was having a good game up until that point. They just weren't winning. But then when Benford made that play, I mean, he just took advantage of it. So was Josh Allen still going to have a big game even if Benford doesn't make the interception? Sure.
Both quarterbacks are having big games. It wasn't going to matter.
Yeah. I think I'd give it to Josh as well. Benford, a close 1A. A close 1A. For those people that are in the comments, let us know what you think for Wall of Fame. Mr. Big says Wall of Fame that equals the team literally woke up and played well in the second half versus a team who put up a bunch of points in the clutch. Wall of Shame, ball control by James Cook. Well, let's go into that right now. Let's go into Wall of Shame.
Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame.
I feel like that's about 8 seconds longer than.
I also feel like the video quality could be better.
Yeah. Hey, thanks. All right. Anyways, Wall of Fame or Wall of Shame, rather. I guess Nate's media clips for this podcast. You guys are really opened my eyes a little bit about how bad they are. So okay. So, Mike, how about you? Who's on your Wall of Shame?
Yeah, James Cook. I think with the ball control. I mean, it almost cost him the game. I think amazing player, amazing runner, but like, geez, yeah, and back to back like that. As we're seeing, the turnovers are so important, and that's just to me, that was a glaring mistakes. And I guess the third down was atrocious.
The third down defense?
Yeah, just tough to watch on third. As long as like, if they take us to third down, it was automatic first. Irregardless isn't the word. Wait, did it become a word? Regardless of the distance, they would get it, right?
Yeah.
It seemed insane. Do you have the stat in front of you? It was like third down efficiency. They were 10 for 12. What? Madness.
I want to say they didn't get a stop until the second half, or at the very end of the first half.
It was at least 7 for 7 in the first half. It might have been more than that even, but I remember seeing 7 for 7 at one point in the game.
And ending 10 for 12. Insane.
Yeah, third down defense is and continues to be a struggle for the Bills. I like that one, Mike. Way better than whatever your other one was. John, what about you? What's on your Wall of Shame?
I think I'm along the same lines. I'm not going to say officially the defense because they did hold them to 28 for a long time or 21 for a long time. If I'm going to pick a specific player, it's got to be Ryan Vandermark. He had some penalties and allowed some pressures and sacks that he played well last week, but this week not as good. So I'm gonna say Vandermark.
Yeah, I've been hearing from people like Eric Wood on his podcast saying that Vandermark is a better fit for left tackle than right tackle, where he was playing today. And that's why he's not, I guess, the primary swing tackle, or maybe he is, but he still isn't like the perfect swing tackle because he's still a better left tackle. So when he played against the Steelers last week, he was left tackle. This week he was the right tackle because Spencer Brown was out. The penalties, the pressures, that's a good one, John. I agree with that. I think, it ended up being an okay game, but I think that there was the offensive line in general, like definitely had some issues protecting Josh Allen, where there were several plays where either there was a miscommunication where like all four defensive linemen for the Bengals felt like they got right in on the play. There was a third down early in the game, or was it a fourth down where they did a play action and it was stopped. It was the only fourth down that was stopped by the Bengals, and there was like nobody blocked on that play. It was blown up in the backfield.
Yeah, I also wonder, like, because of last week versus this week, like, should Vandermark have stayed at left tackle and the Bills moved Dawkins to right tackle this week? I don't know.
I think you got to keep Dion where he's the best.
But like, but you want to take your strongest player and put him wherever. Like your strongest player can play either tackle. You would assume, right? Vandermark is your weaker player, so put him where he's best, and then put Dawkins on the other position. That's just my opinion. I don't know the ins and outs of all these things, but that's just what I would do, right? Like obviously, Dawkins is your best player, and obviously he's best at left tackle, and he's
so you got to move him out of that position because he's your best player at that position.
But Vandermark.
Well, technically, Josh Allen is your best player, so where should we put him?
Well, we're talking about offensive line, so Vandermark. We're talking about tackles. Spencer Brown, versus, I don't know.
If the Bills were having a problem running the ball, I would say the running back should hand it off to Josh Allen because he's good at running the ball too, right? Like you could do that too. Like
I think
there's no
you're
end.
turning this around to make my point
What?
qualified, but I think my
No,
point is
I would never do
really
that.
valid. I think, what if you put Dawkins at right tackle and Vandermark at left tackle, where he excelled last week?
Dion hasn't played right tackle since like college, probably. I don't think he's been there.
But
So
Dion is elite. He could play either tackle position. Is my point. Vandermark is not elite. Let him do what he naturally does best.
One side, John. You're a righty, right? Do you do things left-handed? I don't. I just go right.
I think Dawkins is more versatile than Vandermark. Is my point.
Like you pick up a pair of scissors.
It's an interesting concept because if you want to, so I have heard though it's very tough to go from one side to the other because of like you're used to like backing up with one side on one leg. The one thing I'll say though, like to your point is, let's say Deion Dawkins is 100% of his position, but he could be 70 or 80% as good at left tackle or at right tackle than he is at left tackle, right? But Vandermark is like 90% as at his best at left tackle and like 40% at his best at right tackle. Then all of a sudden, the things it's like, well, maybe Dawkins isn't as bad at right tackle as Vandermark is good at left. You know, like I could see it.
I mean, last week, both Dawkins and Brown were out, and they were fine. This week, Dawkins is back, Brown's still out, and it wasn't as good. And Vandermark was a liability. What's the difference?
Interesting.
The opponent.
Yeah, he didn't have to go up against TJ Watt too much last week, but that's an interesting topic. If you
Hendrick
guys
sends it out, it's like, I mean, there's so many things, but like it's just something to factor in, like something to think about.
You know what the Bills don't do a lot, like in-game changes like that. Like when things aren't working, you don't notice a lot of, like if the corner's getting burnt consistently on defense, like they're not like, hey, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't let Cam Lewis play against that or line up against that player. Let's have someone else do it. They're like, nope, we're going to stick with it. Like we're just going to keep doing it.
You know, both Cam Lewis and Taron Johnson didn't have a good game today. Nickel and dime corners. Harrison had some good plays. That was nice to see.
Okay, can we talk about when the Bills went up 39-28 with how much time was left? 3 minutes, 3 seconds. Shouldn't that game be over?
Did you say 3 minutes, 3 seconds? Oh, 3 and 3. I got it. Yeah.
Like
it should have been.
I was very surprised. They went to, like the Bengals went down 4 plays, 66 yards.
I was not surprised at all. I was shooting my pants the entire time. I was not surprised.
And then that they were gonna. I don't know. I thought that should have been over at that point.
It should have been, but you know these games. 13 seconds.
So that was going to be part of my wall of shame was like the third down defense, but also their lack of aggressiveness in the first half and parts of, that drive was like staying like, 5-6 yards off these guys, right? It's a 3rd and 19 or 3rd and 10. And like the cornerbacks are playing zone and they're like 10 yards off. It's like, well,
they made adjustments in the second half. They were desperate. They were blitzing. It didn't always work, but they tried whatever they could do.
Pass rush is on my wall of shame, even though, there was that Benford sack. I mean, they looked.
Oh, yeah.
Terrible.
For sure. The defensive ends need to get that. Yeah. Burrow had all day on some of those plays.
Isn't that sad when Joey Bosa is out? Like the pass rush is completely non-existent. Like he's the kind of guy that you bring in to like complement your pass rush, not to be like the only guy that can pass rush.
Well, it's just like when they brought in Von Miller and then he got hurt and then, no more pass rush. It was done. Same thing.
I did get word from a source that Joey could be ready next week. So
is it the same source that said Maxwell Harrison's out for the year?
No, I'm not on speaking terms with that source, John. No, it's not the same one. That's why I bring it up. So I'm like, okay, well, the guy has actually been giving me information the last few months and it's all been right. So maybe now I'm ready to say it, that it's right. So
have we heard anything about Ed Oliver? I know that like we're all saying like way like when he first got injured, he'll be back for the playoffs. Is that still on track? Does anybody know that?
So there was a video of him on Instagram without like his because what did he tear his pectoral muscle, right? Or was it a bicep? I can't remember. I think it's a pectoral muscle, and he wasn't wearing like that chest strap or something. He was throwing his like toddler up in the air, and they're like, "Oh, that's a good sign for his like rehab, right?" I'm sure that's enough weight that he can be, moving around. So that's still, I think, the time frame is late December, early January. But I don't know. I mean, we'll know when the 21-day window opens and he returns back from IR. It's just a matter of, when can that happen? Can't happen soon enough, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, so lack of pass rush is my wall of shame on this one, and it's just they got to manufacture it somehow. Of course, it's been on my wall of shame for like every season except when Von Miller was healthy and they had, and I can't remember who they had across from him. It was a really good free agent pickup, but then Greg Rousseau.
Leonard Floyd.
Thank you.
Those first 3 games are awesome.
He was incredible. He ended Aaron Rodgers' season. This is a cool comment. Jack Oswald White said, Josh Allen is the modern mix of Randall Cunningham and Dan Marino. That's an interesting mix. I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, that is interesting. I always thought of it like a combination of like Roethlisberger with his toughness and Cam Newton, obviously, because they talk about the rushing and stuff, but he's a big dude too. And then for a passer, I would say is a passer.
I know it's tough, right?
It's
tough Big
comp.
Ben had an arm. Cam Newton had an arm. Cam Newton wasn't accurate. Ben was pretty accurate. It's a tough one.
Well,
third.
I almost do like a combo because he's got like an arm like Elway did, but the accuracy and like the poise, like you could name a couple other quarterbacks even.
I like Elway. I like that one a lot actually.
Yeah, he's his own guy. He's his own dude.
Because Elway was
really
mobile
good
too. He had like a cannon, an absolute cannon for an arm. To the point where like they had to tell him to dial it back in practice because he was hurting receivers. I think.
I remember those Nerf ball commercials.
I never saw those. Was Elway?
It's so good. Like there was like it's like a tiny little Nerf ball with little flares on the edges of the ball. You throw it 90 yards. So good.
I'm looking up that commercial right now. Was it the spiral? Was it the spiral Nerf football that we all had?
Sounds right. Play it on the thing.
Hold on, you think I won't? I'm about to share my screen right now. There we go. You see it?
The new farthest flying Vortex Mega Flight.
I'm John Elway. I set a world record by throwing the Vortex football over 90 yards.
I'm not John Elway, but I'm going to smash John Elway's record with the new Vortex Mega Flight.
A new record over 100 yards.
Awesome throw.
It's an awesome ball.
If you want to smash your own record, you want the new Vortex Mega Flight.
Yes, that is the exact commercial I was thinking about. That was awesome.
Dude, my son and I have that ball still. It's awesome. They still make them. Freaking crank that thing. John always like, what, you think you're better than me, kid? Break my records out here?
I can Nerf ball. Of course they can.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel the natural extension is to have Elway then throw the ball. Like, don't you want to know how far he can throw it?
Yeah, some guy off the street can throw it. Yeah, beat his old record.
I mean, you don't have to throw more than 100 yards, so it's already like the field. It's like Tacoma Super Bowl.
I feel like that could be an SNL skit where he just pushes the kid aside. He's just like, hey, what do you think you're better
Well, I
than me?
can throw it 200 yards. Well, the receiver can catch it and bounce.
Oh, man. All right. Let's get to our, let's see, hot takes from Twitter/X. All right. So if you're not following us at CTW Pod, at Circling the Wagons Pod, after every game, we say what is your hot take after this win or loss. Jason Statham says, I said at halftime that we wouldn't win a playoff game if we got in. After that second half, I'm still not sure. Thank you, Dawson Knox, for turning up for turning up for once. I'd actually kind of disagree slightly in saying that it gave me more confidence after that second half that like maybe they can be in any game, I mean, the Bengals are. So I was listening to pregame before the game. The Bengals are 12-5 when Joe Burrow has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins in the same game. So it's not like they're a good team still, like especially with Joe Burrow. This isn't just like a 4-8 Bengals team. This is a team that could still get hot and make the playoffs if the Bills don't beat them. Big
Don't you
Mike
think
says,
anything can happen, right? Any Sunday, any year, enough monkeys typing on a keyboard, like just get in and then see what happens. You could be the number 1 seed and go home, or you can be the last one in and go on a run. You see it time and time again.
do you think the one season where like the Bills barely get in, we're just like they shouldn't even be in? That's the time they win it.
It's so fluky. Yeah, definitely. I think there's a chance. Absolutely.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Big Mike says, hot take, Josh Allen seems to have regained his Superman status, regardless of the coordinator's inability to maximize his talents. All we need now is for Josh to have a chance to throw the ball deep. One thing I'll give credit to Joe Brady for is he seems to finally be willing to roll Josh out on some of these plays where Josh has multiple different routes or receivers he can throw to in that, like different reads. And then also he can run with the ball if he wants to. He's finally, I mean, mind you, this shouldn't take his third year as a coordinator to start using more of those plays, but he's finally starting to do that.
The only tough thing about rolling out is you're kind of limited to half the field. And if he's rolling out to his non-throwing, or like, he's rolling out to his left and he throws with his right arm, that can be a problem too. Well, maybe not for Josh Allen, but it limits plays, I think. But it's Josh Allen, so
yeah, that's a good point. I just like the plays where Josh has the ability to do both in the same, like run or pass. But I mean, if you think about it, that 3rd and 15 run that he had was not necessarily supposed to be a run, and he just dropped back, and then he just saw an opening through the middle and went up for 17 yards, just like that touchdown he had, right? Just went through the middle. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah. You don't need to set that up. Chad Labrie says back-to-back weeks that Christian Benford came up huge. Defense was a huge key for this comeback victory for the back-to-back picks. Josh Allen threw the cape on again to lead the offense again. Go Bills. Happy Victory Monday. Absolutely. Christian Benford might win Player of the Week 2 weeks in a row with that play. Go Bills. Buff on Wax says our defense really needs to stop giving up so many points. LOL. Yeah. That's ideal. Defense, the only thing that scares me about the playoffs is what they always say, defense wins championship. Our defense is not, we're not going to win a championship based on that statement alone.
So my thoughts on this is, I think as far as the Bills are concerned, if the Bills can hold their opponents to less than 30 and the Bills can score at least 30, which I think is reasonable, that's all they need to do. So 29 or less for the defense, 30 or more for the offense. I think that's reasonable for this team, right?
There's only one team I'm scared of going into the postseason. That's Houston, just because they blew our doors off. I mean, that wasn't even competitive. That's the only team that scares me right now. A team with a tremendous, amazing defense and a good offense. They're like my dark horse candidate to make it to the Super Bowl because they have such a good defense.
Yeah, they do have really good defense.
Charlie B says, my hot take and Gettysburg play are the same. Christian Benford's interception of Joe Burrow for a touchdown. Richard W. Griswold says, legendary win for the Bills. Allen at the top of his form. Christian Benford is a rock star. The defense, well, they got their act together in the second half, long enough for the win. Cook's near disastrous fumble offset by back-to-back INTs off the hands of Burrow. Thanks, man. I tweeted this out that the Bills had a 9.4 or 8.4% chance to win the game by the what is that stat, ESPN? Win probability. So it tracks it during the game. And the Bills, after that Gesicki touchdown, the Bills had a 8.4% chance to win. And then all of a sudden, obviously the 2 interceptions, and then they won the game. So it's pretty crazy how much of a swing. I saw that was like the biggest swing in a game since, I forgot. Next Gen Stats tweeted that out. You have to check it out on Twitter, but it had been a while. Original Hatriot is in. He says, hot take is that the NFL is done caring about concussions. Ooh, there we go again. T. Higgins had 3 solid head strikes with clear body effects during the game coming off concussion protocol. This protocol is just for show. Mike, there's your burner account, man. This is just like what you were saying. It's true. You have a guy pointing to his head being like, I think I have a concussion. No, we're good.
They took him into the tent, and then he came back in, and he didn't look right. after that.
No.
He had big stats still, but he didn't look good. He was dropping balls and that was rough.
He was concussed so badly he could only catch that touchdown with one hand.
Hmm.
It was like,
Yeah, I know. Well, it was up and down. He was. It looked like he was down and out for a while. He was dropping passes, afraid to get hit, and then later on he was back into it. But I don't know if he was smelling salts.
Speaking of smelling salts, you ever watch James Cook use smelling salts right before a run? He's sniffing that thing yeah. Have you ever seen that before? I just noticed it last week. I knew that there was a story about him doing it, but I really just noticed it
Well,
last week.
you can bring your own apparently, so it's fine.
Oh, really? Andrew Freeman says 2-0 in games of the year. Absolutely. Xavier says, I'd like to point out that this is the second game Bills win when McDermott doesn't wear glasses. I love that. Wall of shame for this season was McDermott's glasses. Dude, I get people, you need glasses. Obviously, John, you have glasses. I used to have glasses. People need glasses to see. I completely get that. But McDermott's choice of frames, man, I'm not saying it has to be, stylish. You have to look like you're on the cover of GQ magazine, but you don't have to look like a librarian either. There's got to be some in between. AJ Tharp says, big plays were the difference maker. Benford with a sweet sassy Molassey, play of the game for sure. Where the hell has that Knox been? Absolutely. Dude, if this is the case, have we just been completely misusing Knox? Or is this just the one game that he can get used for usefully? Maybe you give Knox a different offensive coordinator and he's 1,000-yard tight end. I have no idea.
Well, the Bengals are also awful against the tight end. So
yeah, that's true. They are historically awful against the tight end. They're that bad. They're the worst in yards, the worst in touchdowns, by a wide margin. They had 400 more yards than the next closest team at 31st in the NFL at tight end yards. So yeah, I might even be twice the amount of touchdowns as the next 31st overall team against tight end scoring touchdowns on them defensively. AJ Tharp also says Coleman needs to be benched. His routes are lazy and so obvious that he essentially has a blinker signal on, telling the cornerback where he's going. I can't disagree with that. Part of me wonders, okay, so I've seen the instant replays. I've seen it over social media. He doesn't look fast for sure. But part of me wonders if that's effort or he's just not fast. He's not. People have never said he's a really good route runner. Or he has fast or quick feet. He's never had that. So I don't know if that's just. It might be laziness or effort, or it might just be the dude's just not fast at all. It's kind of lumbering. Big Mike says, hot take, Joe Brady needs to forget that screen passes are his favorite crap to call. Yes, agreed. Yasinator says, hot take, we got Josh Allen. Our tight ends came to play, and despite the fumble, James Cook still had a good game. Cold take, giving Joe Burrow all that time to throw. Vandemark shouldn't have started, and crappy penalties. John, there you go. Yasinator agrees. Vandemark.
Well, Vandemark didn't start. Who was going to start? Oh, you said Alec Anderson, so that could have been an option too.
Alec Anderson was an option. He played last week at right tackle.
Yeah.
But they should have considered a switch. I don't know. It's tough because one guy gets rolling. Do you bring some guy cold off the bench? I don't know.
It's hard, and then you prepare a week. You can't that's a change you can't make at halftime. I feel like you can change defensive scheme, offensive scheme, but the actual starters, especially the offensive line, you can't all of a sudden no, we're gonna switch you to left tackle and we're gonna bring a new guy in a right tackle. You can't do crap like that. I don't think. So I think they did what they could.
This is from Steven, a Bengals fan, obviously not a Bills fan. Still going to choke in the AFC Championship if they make it. Oh, good one.
You skipped over my comment.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, John. Jeez. How could I forget that? I even retweeted it. Here, I'm going to make it big on the screen just so everyone sees it. Super Bowls. Who's this guy replying? Hey, who's this guy? Is that your buddy?
He's telling me to settle down, apparently.
I thought this was just some random troll.
He doesn't know that I, if the Bills do bad, it's season over, and if they do good, it's a Super Bowl. But
your fandom also follows the game probability chart. It's this is the best game, Super Bowl, to we're gonna lose. Let's just.
I'm play to play most times, so it's not even game to game.
Yeah, play. Oh, for sure. Play to play, second to second, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Adam A says Benford saves the day. Without that, not even Super Josh was enough. Yeah. All right, those were hot takes from Bills Mafia. Thank you guys all for being a part of that. Yeah. So this is we're gonna do another giveaway real quick, unless there's something you guys want to add to this while I reach for the next giveaway. Any other hot takes that you guys have after reading about all those other hot takes? There's a Taron Johnson jersey that we're going to give away. Should I just give away the Taron Johnson jersey tonight? Should I save it? Signed Taron Johnson jersey. I don't know if anyone's going to want it after the game you had, but
They won though, so that's the most important thing. And he's been a
still
great
good.
Bill.
He's still good. He's been a great.
One bad game, people are like, "Nah, I don't want this one."
You know,
Give it to me. If nobody wants it, I'll take it. You know.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. All right. So for those of you there, so one of our listeners, Charlie B, which I've mentioned his name a few times, he actually just left us a review. And
Charlie who?
Charlie B.
Oh, B. I thought I heard Bean. I wasn't sure if it was related to
Brandon. Charlie Bean's like, your show sucks. Every time they make fun of Brandon Bean's draft picks, I hate them. No, Charlie B, just like the letter B. Says,
okay.
CTW is great. Listening to Nate and the crew is like sitting around a table with your friends. They make valid points, honest critiques of the game, and few laughs to boot. And a few laughs to boot. I love how they encourage fan participation. Absolutely. In fact, Charlie mentioned over Twitter, he's DM me. He's like, "Hey, you know what'd be fun is if you had a few listeners come in like after the season is done and to just kind of break down like thoughts on the season and stuff like that." I'm like, you know what? That's actually not a bad idea. It'd be fun to get like 3 or 4 listeners, maybe give you guys a week off, or if you guys want to be in on it too, we could have like a 5 or 6 person panel and then just kind of like forensically break down the season. Where did it go right? Where did it go wrong? Like that's kind of a fun thing maybe do for 1 week. So we'll see.
You did something similar to that once. You did like a contest where somebody won and came on. And
yeah, the original Hatred. The original Hatred.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's happened before.
Yeah, maybe I just do. Yeah, maybe I do the random thing picker. I pick like the 3 or 4 most interesting people that participate in these live streams, or yeah, just in general. Yeah, maybe we'll see that. I like that idea. So
remember when you gave away those seats from the stadium?
Yes, yes, that's a good one. It's a good thing to give away from our old sponsor. Yeah.
Didn't we almost like smash out the window in one of our cars? I can't remember. Was it my car? Your car? We got him in, and then we were going to slam down the trunk and the armrest and poking out. Like, oh my God, thank goodness.
Those things, it's funny because I just had back surgery, and so Mike, you had to carry those things. Those things were freaking heavy, weren't they?
Oh my, I needed back surgery after that.
Mike has 3 bulge discs now. But yeah, those things they're just solid, right? Of course they have to be.
Yeah.
They probably have to. What do you think the weight limit on those seats are? Like 300-400 pounds?
Jeez, they better be for the fans sitting in them, right?
Yeah.
Week in and week out.
Yeah. So you're probably talking like it's probably about 100 pounds you were carrying. No joke.
Oh, easy.
Easy. I mean, you didn't struggle that much, but yeah, you were just like they were sticking up. Did we not slam it in, or we just like did it slowly just to be safe and see if it was going to hit? Because you had
we almost did, and then we were like, "Whoa!" And we kind of caught it, and then we just moved it in farther.
I'm so lazy. Like, that's probably good enough. Smash.
But that's how you hurt your back, like lifting it away from your body, right?
Oh, true. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Jeez.
Well, I didn't say you were being lazy. I wasn't helping anything, but yeah.
Dude, you know they're selling the seats from the stadium now.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So that was a hell of a prize to give away.
Yeah, I think they're going to do the same thing with this stadium, right? So like they're just going to like it's going to be the weirdest demolition of.
No, they're selling them. I think like $650.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
they are already selling them. Yes.
Yeah.
So $650. Man, so I gave away a $650 item.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, or at least $300.
That was like season tickets for us back in the day.
Yeah, what were season tickets when we bought it? Last time we had it was like.
It was like $500 or $600.
Yeah,
I thought it was 800.
800. I was thinking 5. I thought it was like 300. I thought it was like
300.
Yeah,
for 8 home games
for rock tile seats.
We did it a couple different seasons. I think it was like
maybe you did. I don't think
$550 or $650, like in that area.
So John, we
whole season.
We all had seats together, and then separately, like a few years later, you had seats with a group of other friends, which shall not be named, and then I had a group of seats with like other friends.
They were similar. It was similar though. It was around $550, $650 for the whole
really?
year.
I thought
included.
it was only
Nobody told me.
Well, I might be including parking and stuff.
Mike's
but-
no
That's
friends.
just the fact you did it.
No, you were involved in one of those seasons. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, one.
Mike's the reason why we stopped having them all together after that. I can't do this again. No, that was fun. I miss those times. They're good.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was fun. The tailgating is great. I mean, we're in the.
Dude, they lost every week.
I remember, 53-3 against the Patriots or whatever it was. Those were rough years during the drought, but
Dude, you'd smell like just like a rubber fire when you got home.
Those were the
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. Your
I still
throat's
miss it.
burning.
It's still, you know what sucked about having those seats in the rock pile is that the people behind us just like wouldn't shut up. Like, and not even just cheering or anything like that. They're just like so negative the entire game.
Mhm.
And it's not like negative, like there's always negativity, like we're negative on the podcast or in our text messages.
yeah,
Like,
I'm
it was
definitely not negative about
consistent.
anything ever.
It was consistently like, oh great, here we go. And then like
After
they'd
like
actually
the
have
first play.
yeah, like they were done. And it wasn't even like funny negativity. Like there's some things that are just hilarious, you could say, like make it entertaining.
Yeah.
They were not. So it's kind of a drag when you're wet and cold and you're just like they're getting trounced 53-3.
Mhm.
So
But in those
Alright.
days, you knew they weren't gonna do anything and win a Super Bowl or anything. It was really just for the tailgating experience, hanging out, being with friends, and
Not for me, man.
it's
no, well, that's cool.
and it still is, and that's the whole reason for that. The whole atmosphere. I'm kind of disappointed the new stadium is going to have less seats. I'm not sure how this is going to work.
I'll tell you, the prices are going to be higher.
Well, I know that, but
Skyrocket.
I'm disappointed that it's going to be 60-something thousand seats compared to
Supply
80.
goes down, demand goes up.
Yeah.
Costs rise.
This is who's going to be able to afford, unless people are watching this or listening to this that have season tickets, you're not included. But the only people that are going to be able to afford season tickets going into this are corporations, companies in the general area, the tri-state area or whatever. Them boomers that are, living fat off the pensions and 401ks, and then like trust fund kids. those are about the three categories of people that can afford, like, because it's easily $5,000 per PSL before you even before you even talking about tickets. And those are for like okay seats, not great seats. I have a friend whose company has the club seats now. I think they're Pepsi clubs or Jim Kelly club seats. The PSLs for those tickets are, I think he said, $25,000 per seat. And the amount per ticket is about twice as much as it is right now, which isn't bad. It's about what you would think it would be. So it goes from like, $3,000 or $4,000 per ticket to like $6,000 or $8,000 next year, which is what you would think. But like the $25,000, like his company, who's probably doing pretty well, is like, yeah, we can't afford this. And that's a write-off for them,
Do you even know what a write-off is?
No, they
Anyways.
just write them off. They just write it off. It's fine.
Yes, just write it off. It's free. It means it's free, Mike. It's another way of saying free.
Thanks.
So winner of this week's Taron Johnson jersey, and you have to be listening or watching for this one. The winner for that one is Dylan Sabo. Dylan Sabo. If you are listening or watching, you have won the Taron Johnson signed jersey. So thank you guys all for listening. Thank you guys for all being a part of this. Thanks to Mike and John, as always, for making this entertaining and fun. So unless you have any final thoughts, signing off for John.
Love you guys. Go Bills.
And for Mike.
Go Bills. It was a great game. See you next week.
For me, Nate, go Bills. It was a great game. John, I did the season tickets for the friendship and the tailgating and the good times, even if Mike didn't. So go Bills, and we'll talk to you guys again next week.
Thank you for listening to the Circling the Wagons podcast. Download and subscribe to us in your favorite podcast service. Email us at ctwpod@gmail.com. That's Charlie Tango Whiskey Pod @gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter @CTWPod. And most importantly, go Bills!
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, Nate.
Well, listen, the whole show is called Circling the Wagons. Say no more. I love it.